Building a Stronger AASHTO, 1999 to 2013, by Executive Director John Horsley.
I'm tremendously proud of what we have accomplished at AASHTO over 14 years.
In 27 pages, John Horsley has summed up what has been an impressive 14 years of accomplishment by the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, AASHTO, under his leadership.
The vision was that we become the voice of transportation nationally. AASHTO had been a superb technical organization. We've been doing the role of engineering excellence for highways and bridges for almost 100 years now. But the board of directors sensed just after passage of T21 in 1998 that we were AWOL. We weren't on the battlefield fighting for states' role in transportation, and that's why they hired me.
Horsley says he knew from the beginning that additional resources and expertise was needed if AASHTO was to become an effective Capitol Hill advocacy group. That's why he began growing revenues, which will climb from $25 million in 1999 to $69 million by February 2013.
So we will have almost tripled the revenue that we bring in the doors.
Horsley used this chart to illustrate how AASHTO's revenue stacks up to comparable national associations. And while Horsley says revenue is critical, he also says there's no substitute for quality leadership. Each of the directors of AASHTO's 4 divisions report directly to Horsley. Dr. Anthony Kane runs the Engineering and Technical Services Division. He will retire in March of 2013.
Tony Kane has hired and developed an array of expertise that we've never seen previously at AASHTO. We're advancing the introduction of new technologies through our Technology Implementation Group. Operations and ITS is now much more sophisticated, much more aggressive in what we're doing to move traffic. We're accelerating the introduction of new products through our National Transportation Product Testing and Evaluation Programs. We run a large software services organization here, AASHTOware, that went from 13 to 36 million over 14 years. Our independent testing laboratory facility, AMRL, has grown its revenues from 3 to 9 million. So by broadening the base of the technical services we provide, that enabled us to beef up our policy staffing, and then we could go to work increasing the profile and the effectiveness of AASHTO as an advocacy organization. So you name it, we're doing it.
Aaron Grady is Director of Publications Production.
Erin Grady's doing a great job with the excellent staff that she's put together. Revenues have increased from 1.8 million a year to 5.8 million, and the revenues don't just happen. People are buying our publications because of their excellence.
The Director of Program Finance and Management is Jack Basso. Mr. Basso plans to retire on February 1st, 2013.
Jack Basso is responsible for AASHTO being the primary source of information on federal finance. Jack is a unique person that everyone turns to for advice and leadership, but he is also our Chief Operating Officer. And with Janet Dem as his financial director, our finances are on a solid basis. We're well managed and efficient, lean and mean machine. But then we've also added a center of excellence in program finance. So we're also a source of training and information in how do states finance projects. So whether it's internal management, Jack as a source of information, or us as a leader in education, we're doing it all.
Lloyd Brown directs the Communications Division.
Lloyd Brown and the staff that he's put together have put us on the cutting edge of new ways to communicate with the public. You look at transportation TV that we're on right now. That's how people get their information. You look at tweets and Facebook and blogs. The world today goes well beyond print media and the traditional source of media. We still depend on national media to tell our story, but Lloyd is doing a full court press in every medium to get the word out. So across the board, we've modernized the techniques that we use to reach out, and then I think we're doing a better job of telling our story.
The Policy and Government Relations Division is run by Janet Oakley.
When I started, it was a skeleton operation, and Janet Oakley has made it one of the strong points of AASHTO. She's assembled staff with a much broader array of expertise in planning, environment, freight, water transportation, rail, transit. Her leadership means that when congressional committees need input, they get it.
Horsley says AASHTO is also leading on the world stage, representing the United States as the National Committee to the World Road Congress. AASHTO is also a member of the International Road Federation and the Intelligent Transport Systems, or ITS, World Congress. AASHTO also has signed bilateral agreements to collaborate with transportation agencies in Canada, China, India, Australia, and New Zealand.
AASHTO isn't just an association or an organization, it's an institution. The world looks to us for engineering leadership in highways and bridges, and the U.S. looks to us for national leadership in transportation policy. And that's a tradition that we've raised our profile, and people now look to us for leadership. And I think that's the greatest accomplishment that as I walk out the door, we have transformed and elevated what people expect out of AASHTO.
Horsley describes his retirement as bittersweet.
Because I love the staff, I love the people I work for, and I have tremendous enthusiasm for a passion for what we work at. But the time has come to move on. The board has selected an excellent leader who will follow me, just as I followed Frank Francois, who did a great job before I came on board. Bud Wright will carry on the tradition. But I'm very proud of the contribution we've been able to make to this institution, which is very important to the country.
John Horsley, AASHTO Executive Director from 1999 to 2013.